Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway, and welcome to the channel. Today, we are doing Ben 10 Fastest Alien Homeworlds and Beyond from the InkTank. I don't think I've covered anything from them in a while, and actually, one of my most watched videos comes from them, from me doing a reaction to one of their videos, and you guys really didn't agree with what I had to say. I did that video years ago, and I'm still getting comments like I did it yesterday. Uh, well, we're gonna jump into this.
Good evening, extranet and multidimensional travelers. I am the first of the new R300 Orion IT Systems Model V01, the Hovering Observational Reconnaissance Assistant Squid, but to make things easier, you can call me Horace. Today, we'll be exploring the strange speedy system
Accelerate.
of the Aegis Orbit, home to the universe's fastest frenzy of time-dilated species. Our focus will be on the most populated planets, home to the Kinacelrans, the Citricaia, and the genus Lepus. Please keep all appendages inside the portal at all times, and remember, speed limits are suggestions, not requirements.
All right. As I said, I am familiar with Accelerate. I've actually watched. Uh, I was a fan of Ben 10. They started doing all the reboots and everything. And when they did Ben 10 and Generator Rex, the crossover, I was all for that. I do remember the originals at the time. Forearms was my favorite, but that's because I favor brute strength in a straight up. I was going to say straight up street fight, but yeah, in a straight up brawl, I like to be hand to hand combat. And again, I'm going to point to my subscription button, and it's me punching a guy in the face in a cage. No, yeah, I fought for a living. That influences some of the things that I like, and I gravitate towards in say like this kind of media. I do like I said, forearms because of the strength, and you can whoop somebody real good. But I have my other favorites. We'll get into that later if it applies. But I Accelerate wasn't exactly one of my favorites, but I do like speedsters. And shouts out to my son. He's the reason why I started watching Ben 10 and things like that. I'm getting a smile on my face because I'm reminiscing. So here we go. Bro.
Welcome to the Aegis Orbit, a small blanket system made up of multiple massive planets surrounding a unique orbital body.
Oh, I
Despite the
thought it was gonna
intense
be
fluctuation of
AEGIS.
gravitational mass, this system is somehow stable, and each planet has increasingly different rotational and orbital speeds. These increased speeds cause time to move much quicker on planets from an outside perspective. The deeper into a system you go, the more dilation increases. Due to the temporal influence of the system, I am equipped with a Chronosapien dilation key, so my footage will be readable once we return to regular dilated time.
All right. See, they're talking about dilated time and things to that degree. What that makes me think of is molecular acceleration. Your molecules, they move at a speed that if you actually saw everything under a microscope, you would actually be able to see them. You speed up the frequency, the rate of movement of the molecules to the point where the human eye can't see it. Thus, you can't be seen when you move. The problem with that is it creates a mass of kinetic energy and heat, and your body needs to be able to figure out how to deal with that heat and energy. Um, Flash eats a lot because it burns a lot. It burns a lot of calories, and he's got a high metabolic rate. I don't know how they do it in the Ben 10 universe, but we're going to see about that.
Starting off in the outermost orbital ring, we have the placid planet of Chalybes. Chalybes has the slowest rotation of the system. Using Earth as a comparative example, one day on Chalybes is only a fraction of one day on Earth. This is true for the entire system, rotating at incredible speeds, causing said time dilation. Chalybes is a fairly advanced planet sitting at a tech level of 5, as evidenced by its many enviro-integrated industrial cities. These clean cities being non-harmful hubs of endless possibility where they can live and learn. Despite the species' advancement, much of the planet's surface is made up of sprawling hills and dips into large cavernous canyons. These areas intentionally left.
Okay, you have to excuse me. I'm trying to figure out how the rotation of the planet equals they move faster. Like, someone's gonna have to explain that down in the comments for me, please and thank you. And please don't be nasty about it. Like I said, I am a Ben 10 fan, but I haven't kept up with it throughout the ages. My oldest son, Slayer Gaming, is when he was a wee one, is the reason why I started getting the Ben 10. As I said earlier in the video, I haven't watched all the reboots and remakes and everything. So scientifically, that part makes no sense to me. So someone's going to have to explain that to me. Please and thank you.
More natural due to the residents' more positive view of their environment. Chalybes is a mineral-enriched planet noted by its prosperous waters. The planet only has one extremely small moon, meaning there are very little tidal currents, and as a result, most salt and heavier minerals stay settled at the bottom of most bodies of water. This makes nearly all water on the planet clear and drinkable. These Chalybes waters are extremely high in mineral content and alkaline, and have nourished nearly all life on the planet to a point of immunity to most known diseases. No case of disease has been recorded on Chalybes for centuries.
Are you feeling under?
So germs just got eradicated? I notice how I'm saying, hey, germs just got eradicated, and you got this snot-nosed gremlin thing right there. Because dirt in and of itself creates infections when it gets into, like, cuts and pores. Like, you're telling me there's no combat, and there's no, like, a lot of that just don't make sense to me. It's I almost want to say sickness is a part of life, but it's become mold, for example. Mold grows on dead things. Mold grows on, the mold is found in the wilds, and no one ate a mushroom or anything like that.
The weather, needing an all-natural immunity boost to remedy your day? Try Hoakstar's imported fast-track splash mineral water, sourced straight from the Xeno springs of Chalybes itself. One sip and you'll feel better in a splash.
Wow, this is both delicious and nutritious.
Professor Hoakstar's request for endorsement has been pending approval for about 3.5 years. Anyway, the dominant life of the planet are the Citricaea. Citricaea are bipedal Fallidae standing at various heights between 5 and 13 foot tall. These quick-footed cats possess an advanced physical prowess and are capable of running at speeds of up to 241 miles per hour. Chalybes has a heavy gravity, meaning that their quick sprint is accelerated on lower gravity worlds.
I was just about to say that,
bumping
yeah.
their speed up, making them a blur of fur. So, when Citricaea are off-world, they are even faster than they are on their home planet. Because Chalybes doesn't rotate nearly as fast as the other planets in the ages.
Okay, so like I said, I'm familiar with Accelerate. I don't know the actual alien name in the middle. Sorry about that. The bunny thing. I have no idea what that is. The Citricaea, the cat thing. I'm familiar with them. They're, I want to say, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien or Ben 10 Alien Force or whatever. Those, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure one of y'all down in the comments are like, no, you uncultured swine. But as I said, it's been a while for me, and I do get some things mixed up from here and there because it's been a while. So apologies. So I'm looking forward to learning about the bunny thing.
Orbit, its residents are the only speedy species that won't get motion sickness when trying to acclimate to another planet's rotational speed. With their natural athletic prowess, they have a lot of energy to burn off. Most Citricaea handle this by racing, sliding, and parkouring through the wobbly hills and caverns of their world.
Parkour.
Many also partake in recreational hunting. Animals of the planet, like the rootfish, recognize the Citricaya's speed and intentionally reside in deeper caverns and cave systems of the planet to avoid them. But thanks to their immense strength, cavern walls won't stop the Citricaya.
I was just about to say nature and how it evolves into predator and prey. Like, okay, the Tarask. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons. The Tarask. It's one of it exists in all of D&D, but if you look, it's got spikes and things on there. Animals don't evolve to have spikes and things unless it has a predator. So something hunts and eats a Tarask, which is kind of like what I'm here, like how they, whatever the animals of that planet go when they burrow deeper, it's to get away from the Citricae. But the Citricae have, because of the high gravity in their muscle structure, they have superhuman strength. Got to be quicker than that.
Equipped with amazing senses, hunting these caves is even easier than the surface. With near 360-degree receptive ear canals, they can hear up to 5,000 feet away, almost doubling in these deep, round rock tunnels.
Because of the rebound, the reverb.
In addition, they possess spatial sensitive long guard fur, making them aware when something gets within a close proximity of them.
Yeah.
And of course, a dense layer of reflective cells in their eyes known as tapetum lucidium. Even the smallest amount of light bounces off this optic layer and reflects back into the retina, making them capable of seeing in extremely low light areas.
Ooh. They're
Some individuals
predators.
are even said to be able to see in pitch black darkness. This optic reflection also makes their eyes glow.
Oh, the standard
You could say they really
pulls.
give
I'm
their
sitting in the
prey
dark
a
and only
run
can see my
for their
eyes.
money. Well, I thought it was funny.
But they all be
The
predators.
latest character on Mortal Kombat 1, Peacemaker. Play Mortal Kombat for
Yeah.
free on March 7th through
No.
March 10th. This is
Moving deeper into the system, we arrive at the post-haste planet of Kinnet. Like Jollibee's,
Kinetic.
Kinnet's time dilation is far more extreme compared to other systems. From their planetary perspective, a day on Kinnet still feels the same as a day on Earth. But Kinnet's time dilation is so intense that entire lifespans on Kinnet can be compressed into just a few weeks compared to Earth.
No.
As Kinnet's rotation is much faster than Jollibee's, my dilation key will adjust accordingly. Kinnet has a very flat topography littered with cluster cities. These cities are the homes of the Kinnecelrans. Kinnecelrans are bipedal dromaeosaurids standing between 3 and 7 foot tall. These lightning-fast lizards can move at incredible speeds, reaching upwards of 500 miles per hour.
Nice.
Kinnecelrans evolved to move at incredible speeds to avoid the lightning-fast attacks from their interspecific competitor, the mollusparks. At first glance, many will mistake them for large trees when in actuality they're animals that will root themselves into the ground.
Okay.
Mollusparks are large mollusk-like filter feeders that feed on microbial sea life via coastal spray from the suspended oceans created by Kinnet's 4 moons. They use a special synovial joint in their head like a rotary generator. Generating electricity they can use to fire at the ocean to create more spray to feed from. Or to defend their young from Kinnecelrans looking for a new pair of roller shoes. They take the synovial rollers of the younglings because they are genetically built with the durability to withstand constant movement and reduce friction. A perfect shoe for the speedy species. They have also evolved a large retractable.
See, I like the fact that it showed something gruesome. It showed that even though Ben is a hero and he uses Accelerate, that the the alien race that he uses for accelerate, they're not all noble and stoic. They're not heroic like that. Not all of them. They're killing younglings. Let's put it like that. They're Anakin Skywalking, Skywalkering younglings of other sentient and organic beings for shoes. Yeah, well, you're useful, you ain't lived too long, so you ain't give me that, cuz. Just I appreciate this because it doesn't show that just because it's Ben 10 universe, it's all sunshine, rainbows, and everything's heroic. It shows a darker side of things, and that's pretty awesome to me. It shows that there's are obviously problems and conflicts because that's what makes the show. But even amongst the alien worlds, like the daily routine isn't what everybody thinks it is.
Cranial lens to avoid disorientation from the flashes of lightning or debris flung at them.
Polarized.
When off-world on planets with less gravitational weight holding them down, their speed is accelerated to unmeasurable ranges. An individual can be moving so fast that, to their perspective, time could look like it's standing still. This extreme difference can also leave Kinaselrans feeling dizzy or nauseous for quite some time as they acclimate to the current planet's rotational speed. The largest downside of spacefaring for Kinaselrans is that despite how brief their journey off-world may be, when they return, a large amount of time will have passed. For them, a few days in space could mean that by the time they return, their children could be older than them. More often than not, when traveling off-world, Kinaselrans travel in large groups bound together by familial bonds.
Because of that.
I would make detailed note of their culture, but with how quickly things change here, that may prove to be pointless.
Fair enough. It's like passing light travel. It's a year
Arriving
for
at our
you,
final
but it's
stop of the Aegis
several
orbit,
years for the
we
people
have the
left
paradoxical
behind.
planet of Polytempus. Despite its sun-like appearance, Polytempus is indeed a planet.
What do they have? A messed up Aurora?
This massive planet acts as a gravitational anchor for the system, not only because its immense size, but also because the core of the planet is made of a solid quartz crystal. Special properties of
Yes.
this crystal attract and refract tachyons that bend space-time. Such a large amount in one spot thins and cinches space-time around the planet, causing it to have no rotation, as if it's literally stuck in time. The luminous bands around the planet are created by its dominant inhabitants, the genus Lepus.
The rabbit people.
Genus Lepus are large lagomorpha standing between 2 and 13 foot tall. Their people, stuck on this unmoving planet being crushed by gravity, evolved to suit it fairly well. Developing extremely intense musculature and anatomy, despite the crushing gravity, they can move around freely and even quickly. On other planets of lower gravity, their movement is so fast that they can seem invisible. As a result of evolving in a tachyon-enriched environment, over time they would learn to harness tachyon energy via momentum and refract it through themselves, such as the quartz crystal structure of their planet. They use this refraction to pool together temporary choice-based timeline variants of themselves and physically manifest them. For example, if a genus Lepus is presented with multiple paths, they can run fast enough to temporarily split the timeline, running down all paths simultaneously. Once reformed, they still retain the knowledge of every action, even after the timeline disappears.
The Flash does this, but he does something different. They don't the time remnant. It doesn't disappear. You got to actually kill it because it's a person. It's him taken from another time. Like he might be taken from the future and just since I need you now, and you can die. I'll pick you from the future because I'll take you from the past and you die. I no longer exist. So that's actually how Savitar came to be. For those of you that may or may not know, for those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't know, look up Savitar and with the Flash. If you are a fan of what was it? It was on the WB, the CW. I'm sorry. the CW. It was on the Flash. I think that it ended. I stopped watching after a while. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Savitar was said to be the first speedster, and then they found out. You know, I'm giving away spoilers here, so if you don't want to know anything about that, I don't know, fast forward a minute or so. Savitar was said to be the first speedster, and he came in armor and had blades and everything that accommodated him for his speed. Turns out that Savitar is a time remnant of Barry Allen that got discarded like he was trash, and he got pissed off about it, and we're like, "Hey, I'm you. How are you going to like just discard me like I'm nothing?" So he decided to become a bad guy and mess up Barry Allen's life. Which, from what I gather, the Flash movie, they do something very similar. I haven't seen the actual movie, but they do Flashpoint, and they do Flashpoint differently, but similar in ways. So we're gonna go back to this though.
However, these temporal clones can only exist while the genus Lepus is in motion. One large downside to manipulating tachyon energy, however, is that the radiation will rapidly accelerate and age cells that come in contact with it, similar to a tachyon mutation of one Hugo Méliès caused by a quartz entropy pump documented in 1952 on Earth. Too much tachyon radiation in one place can worsen into thinning and possibly even breaking space-time in that area. Knowing the dangers of their abilities, the genus Lepus people avoid most interstellar travel.
Pretty cool.
Young kid
Yo, I
genus
might
Lepus
mess
spend
everything
their
up,
days
so I don't want to
painting,
go
sculpting,
anywhere
and
else.
crafting. These methods of expressing and manipulating their view of the physical world is taught to them to better hone their sight of potentiality through the winding branches of time, helping them see time from different perspectives and clarify their time clones.
Hey, pretty cool, right?
Art is subjective, and given that I'm an AI, I do not have an opinion on art.
Well, I think it looks great, my boy.
Sonic
I'm
and
off to work.
Robotnik.
Gotta go fast.
Most
Really?
adult genus Lepus spend their days running and leaping through the planet's atmosphere, rocketing around so fast that they look like shooting stars. The uncountable speed streaks are what give Polytempus its star-like appearance. Because their planet is a literal weight in space-time, to avoid it tearing through, they use opposing forced momentum from their running to create an artificial rotation to lessen Polytempus's grip on space-time. This teeter-tottering on space-time is so powerful that it has created ripples encompassing the entire system's width, pushing and pulling both Kennet and Chalybes through space, meaning that the Aegis orbit itself exists thanks to the genus Lepus. The accelerated time-dilated effect of the system is simply the barrage of tachyon radiation from Polytempus, dispersing similarly to solar radiation.
Okay, that makes sense. To a degree,
Making the
that makes
planet
sense.
not only appear like, but act similarly to a sun.
So, all right, remember what I said earlier? Was this its own Borealis, its own Aurora Borealis, and to an extent it is because it's all the temporal after images and effects from the timeline from the rabbit creatures. I forgot the name just that fast. So because everybody's the adults are always moving around. And like he said, everybody looks like a shooting star when they move. The adults are let me correct myself. The adults look like shooting stars when they're moving like that. A prism effect that when seen from a distance, that's it. And because of all the temporal stuff, and because it's so powerful to keep everything weighted, like I said, the radiation spans out. Then that's got to be some powerful radiation for the to affect other planets and give it the gravitational pull and everything, and its own temporal display. Yeah, that's powerful. No wonder they don't leave the planet.
The Aegis orbit, an energetic place to live for sure, but thankfully we were just visiting. Make sure to plunge back into the void with me sometime and join me on another extraterrestrial exploration. This is Horace, signing out. great first recon. I can't wait to show Blukich and Driba. Now, just a portal out of here.
Hello? You can't portal in here. Thin space, remember?
Young child, I have advanced Galvan technology and am equipped with a Chronosapien dilation key, specifically to portal here. I believe I'll be fine.
He's gonna fuck it up.
Huh? Oh no.
Kick deep.
You blithering bucket of bolts! You can't portal here!
I tried to tell him.
Sonic and Dr. Robotnik.
You forgot to install the temporal extraction lock that goes with the key, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Then what's that bronze tech cube with the lock on the side of it sitting under your smoothie?
What?
Shit. Without that extractor, the R300 won't be able to return to the same temporal fold as it left. There's no telling where he could end up. He could be lost in time!
I was about to say not where, but
He'll
when.
probably be fine. He's got to return home eventually. Let's just program the next set of units.
Fine. Let's send one to, I don't know, Pripatos? That's too dangerous for living plumbers.
Right, so
By the
I'm
way,
not familiar with
did
that.
you hear it call itself Horus?
I thought you programmed it to do that.
Yeah, that was cute. Thought you programmed to call himself Horus.
Greetings, interstellar travelers. We hope you enjoyed a glimpse into the bristly biome of the Aegis orbit. You can help with future galactic expeditions by joining the InkTank Patreon and inform your favorite part of this
got to look at
episode
some
in
of
the
these.
comment down below. Now, on to the next invention.
Alright, so that's stronger than Goku 10-year streak. Armored Adventures. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at some of the other stuff. But is that Broly versus Asura? Asura will beat that and piss out of Broly. And you can tell him I said it. But I'm going to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I had a lot to say. The original video is 16 minutes and 6 seconds. So I don't know how long I've been yapping my jaw. So I'm pretty sure it's like almost double that. So again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I upload, I want to say a couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. But if you're new to the channel, even if you're not new to the channel, and you guys were entertained by what we did, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the notification button, and the bell. That helps push the content out to a wider audience. And we over here at the channel, we want to entertain as many people as possible. Down in the description below will be links to my merch shop. Also links to the books that I have published on Amazon. If you are a fan of sci-fi, you're going to love Tales of Adventure. It's a massive, it's an amalgam of different sci-fi stories all put together. If you're a fan of anime, you're going to love Battle World. That is a very anime-centric thing. It's pretty much what happens when you're isekai'd and you're told enemy powers are real. I'm currently working on the next volumes of Tales of Adventure, as well as the second edition to Battle World. But I'm also working on a romance series called Tales from the Heart, and I'm trying to put as many of them out as I can this year. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me. In the meantime, between time, I'm always with his peace signs. I'm your main man, King Sway. It's late as hell. I'm tired, and I'll catch you. You can probably hear my dog snoring in the background in the next one.